Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Noble, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Adamancipator deck profile. So I'm actually extremely excited about this one because I really like the Adamancipator archetype. I think it's going to be the best out of the three of the new Secret Slayers box. I actually got really lucky and I pulled one researcher. It wasn't even out of the box that I bought. It was out of one random pack I got from Walmart, which I thought was kind of funny. Um, but I had to order the other two, and it's some Leonites. But I definitely don't regret it because this is an awesome deck. It's really powerful, really fast paced. You can get a ton of negates on the board. I love it. I think it's gonna be one of my new favorite decks for sure. But without further ado, guys, let's get right on into it. To start off with, we're going to be playing three, and you guessed it, three researcher. I know saying that definitely probably hurts some people's hearts. But you really do need three of these card guys to make this deck competitive. Sorry for saying that, but it's just true. So the three Adamancipator people, researcher, seeker, and analyzer, have roughly the same effects. Every time they're summoned, you get to activate the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you get to do different things for summoning them. So basically, for researcher, if you control a rock monster, except another copy of this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can special summon one excavated level 4 or lower non-tuner rock monster, and then you place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's really good at getting her out, then excavate, and then bring out another body in the field, and immediately go into a synchro play, probably. That's really, really good. If you excavate the top 5 cards of your deck and you don't run into a level 4 or lower non-tuner rock type monster, you did not shuffle your deck right. You did not shuffle that right at all. That definitely should happen. You definitely should hit one of those. So for the next three, we're going to be playing probably the best artwork in the deck. I really love this one. Adamancipator Seeker. If you control an Adamancipator monster, so this is different. It's not a rock. It's an Adamancipator monster. You can special summon this card from your hand. And then you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. And if you do, you can special summon one excavated or level 4 or lower non-tuner rock monster. And then the same thing, you place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order as well. Seeker is definitely a 3 of as well. You really need to play 3 of all 3 of the Adamancipator people. So next up, we play 3 Adamancipator Analyzer. Analyzers are a level 4 tuner, so we're really going to use Analyzer probably to go into Dragite more than likely. We'll probably use Seeker and Researcher to go into the other ones, but we'll probably use Analyzer going to Dragite. But Seeker's special summoning condition is if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's kind of like a Cyber Dragon little effect. And of course, you can normal summon this card if you want to. You normal summon all of them, but it's just definitely more beneficial to special summon them if you can. And then during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can special summon one level 4 lower excavated non-tuner rock type monster, and then same thing, place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So moving away from the people, the team, I don't know what to call them. We played the crystals, so we played 3 Adamancipator Dragite. Dragite's probably the best one. In my opinion, I really think you should play 3 of this one. Because what it does is if this card special summon by the effective Adamancipator card, you can draw a card, so digging deeper into your deck is always a good thing. And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one water or tinker monster you control, or in your graveyard and return it to the extra deck, and then place this card on the top of your deck. So basically, you can compulse your Dragite, if it's in your graveyard or even on your field, back to the extra deck, and then set your next play up by putting this on top of your deck. So for the next 2, we're playing 2 Leonite and then 2 Raptide as well. I don't think you need to maximize these guys. And here's why. Because these will get a little more briggy. If you pull too many crystals, it shouldn't happen, but it might. And then you can't excavate. That's not good. And plus, Dragite's the best because it allows you to dig a little bit deeper into your deck. So I really think you should play 2 Leonite and 2 Reptite and 3 Dragite. But if you want to maximize it, I'm not saying it's a terrible idea. I just don't think it's a great idea. But what Reptite and Leonite both do is if this card is special summoned by the Adamancipator monster, you can place a rock type monster from your hand or graveyard on top of the deck. Reptite does rock, and then Leonite does an Adamancipator card. So it's a little bit different. This one's rock, this one's an Adamancipator card. And then the same thing, you can basically compulse Leonite back from your extra deck and place this card on top of the deck, and then you can compulse Reptite from the graveyard or field and compulse that back to your top of your deck as well. Now, if you want to go for 3 Of all of them, go for it. I'm not really sure where you'd make the room. So I play one Block Dragon. Now, Block Dragon, I might would bump to 2. This is a really good card, comboed off of Union Carrier. Because, well, really quick, I'll just show you. What we do is we'll bring out Union Carrier. And we'll special summon, we'll bring Block Dragon out for the deck. And equip it to a card. And then we can sync off into Needle Fiber or something like that. And then, what Block Dragon does is he gets a floating effect where this card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can add 3 rock-type monsters from your deck to your hand whose total levels equal 8. So you could get all 3. You could get Analyzer, Seeker, and Researcher straight from that ability. And that's really good. Might would even play Block Dragon at 2. Might would do that. I don't think that'd be a bad idea. But it's really good, just depending on what you have on the board is really dependent on what you're going to get from your deck. But Block Dragon's a really, really good card. It also has a protection effect to where rock-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. But you can't normal summon or reset this card. You can only special summon it from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 earth monsters from your hand or graveyard. And it can't be special summoned by other ways, but we're really using it for that Union Carrier play. But we can use it for the other one if we need to, for the protection ability. And he has a decent body at 2,500 attack and 3,000 defense, so that's good as well. So next up, we're playing 3 Doki Doki. Doki Doki is really pivotal in this deck, and that's because he can special summon from the deck, which is like one of the most powerful effects in the game. But what this card does, I'm sorry, I'm hiccuping a lot, guys. I don't know what's going on. But what this card does, you can discard 1 rock monster, special summon from your deck, 1 rock monster that has the same original attribute and level as that monster, and face up attack position, or face down defense position. So either way, but you can bring this out, and that's really powerful, just being able to get out another body onto the field. So next up, I'm playing a small Quakimeru engine. I think that's how you say it, Quakimeru. Quakimeru Guardian is really good. What this card does is basically at every end phase you have to reveal a rock-type monster in your hand, or else this card destroys itself, because we're not playing the Iron Core cards. But when a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can tribute this card and negate the activation and destroy that monster. And this is really good with Leonite, because what Leonite does is during our opponent's turn, quick effect, we can special summon a rock-type monster from our graveyard. And that's really good because we can use Quakimeru's Guardian's effect to negate and destroy one of our opponent's monsters, and then we can use Leonite to bring her right back again. And that's really going to suck, and that's really going to piss your opponent off, and that's really going to make your day. So yeah, 3 Guardian, I really think that's pivotal. I'm also playing, if I can get him out, 2 Overload. I personally don't really know why you wouldn't play 2 Overload, because Quakimeru Overload does the same thing, except it negates summon. So when your opponent would summon a monster or monsters, quick effect, you tribute this card and negate the activation if you destroy that monster. That's really powerful. I mean, you do the same thing with Leonite with this card too. I really, I wouldn't play it at 3. That might get a little bricky. You don't want to really play this card at 3. But I definitely think you should play 2 of this one. Now, I'm not running Ash in this deck because there's nothing going on right now because the country's on lockdown. So I'm not really playing too competitively. But if you would want to run Ash and you want to get rid of this, that's totally fine as well. Next up, we're playing 2 Century Soldier of Stone, because what this card does is just a free body on the field. If all monsters you control are rock-type monsters, minimum 1 while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. That's it. That's all it does. But it's really, really good just to be able to bring it back out from the graveyard to go into our single plays. And you can only use this effect of Century Soldier of Stone once per turn. So for the next one, just a little Floodgate card. I'm playing 2 Fossil Dyna. I have no idea how to say that last name. If I can't pronounce the Valkyries, I definitely can't pronounce that. So I'm not even going to try. But basically, being able to establish our board and then bring out Fossil Dyna, because a lot of times we're not even really going to normal summon to establish our board, so we can just bring out Fossil Dyna with our normal summon, and then having our board established and locking our opponent out of special summoning is probably going to cost them a game if they can't get around this card. But what the card does is neither player can special summon the monsters. When this card is flipped face up, destroy all special summon monsters on the field. So, definitely don't special summon it face down position using Doki Doki. Do not do that, if you have your field set up. But this is a really, really good card. Personally, I think you should play 2 of them. If you don't want to go for this card, if you'd rather play some Complex Rage or something, that's totally fine as well. But I think that's a really good way to lock out your opponent. For the last 2 in the main deck, last one, Gigantes, I think is how you say it. If I had a second one, it'd be right here. I ordered it like 2 weeks ago. It's still not here, so it's a little bit frustrating. But if I had it, I would have two in the deck. But what this card does, it's just another free body, basically. It can't be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from our hand by banishing our earth monster from the graveyard. And if this card is destroyed by battle, send the graveyard destroy all spell traps on the field. This is really good. We're not really going to use it for that. We're just going to bring it out and really use it to go into our plays. So that's it for the monsters. I do play a high monster count. I believe that's 30. Like I said, there is room. So if you want to go for Ash and Call by the Grave, go for it. That's totally fine. But that's what I'm doing. But two Adamancipator Laputite to transition us into the spells. If you want to only play one of these and play another Call by the Grave or play a Monster Reborn, that's totally fine. But I think this card's really good. I think it's underrated. And good lord, look at that daggone art. That is just beautiful. That's so beautiful. What this card does is it gives our monsters a tap boost. So all rock type monsters we control gain 5 turn attack and defense. And by itself, that's really good as well. This is the field spell, by the way. And then once per turn during our main phase, we can take up to 5 Adamancipator cards from our deck and place them on top of our deck in any order. So not only does this card give us an attack boost, this card also allows us to set up for our next excavated plays, which is going to be really, really good. Just being able to take any 5 Adamancipator cards from our deck and put them on top of our deck in any order, we're basically deciding what we're going to get out. That is so, so good. I really think you should play this at 2. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can get away with 1. But I want to see it soon, so I'm playing it at 2. Next up, we're playing our Monster Reborn of the deck, Adamancipator Signs. This is a really powerful card, borderline broken, because what it does is you can target 1 rock monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. By itself, that's really good, because it doesn't only target Adamancipator, it can just a rock, and that's fantastic. Then if you special summon an Adamancipator monster by that effect, you can take 1 level 4 or lower rock monster from your deck and place it on top of your deck. And that's just fantastic. Getting a free body out in the field and then basically getting to set up for our next excavate or draw is really good. And the crazy thing about this card, is that it's not once per turn. So if you have 2 or 3 of these cards, you can play all 2 or 3 of them. You can get 2-3 bodies out in the field and then set up for our next draws or excavates. And that's crazy. I hope this card doesn't get hit, but it's really, really powerful. I definitely think you should play this at 3. This one might be at like $5. I'm not 100% sure. Interesting they chose Raptite, though, for that card. So next up, we're playing 2 Adamancipator Relief. Now, this is where you can make room for Call by the Grave or something. In my opinion, if you wanted to, because this is a good card, because what it does is you can tribute any number of Adamancipator monsters and target cards in the field equal to that number plus 1 and destroy them. So that's really good. But I'm not really looking to tribute my Adamancipator monsters because I'm really, I'm trying to get my board out. And once I have my board established with the synchro monsters, I'm really not going to try and get rid of them because I'm going to have negates on the field. But if your opponent gets something out that we weren't really expecting or taking into account, and we're going to lose our monsters anyway, we could just set this card and flip it. And then, if we're going to lose our monsters anyway, hey, we might as well blow up our opponent's board as well. And then I'm playing 3 impermanents for the last 2 cards in the main deck. Now, disclaimer, Adamancipator Resonance, that's a good card. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a good card because it's a counter trap, and when a monster phase is activated while you control an Adamancipator, could synchro a monster and negate the activation and destroy it. So that's really good. But the thing about this card is it's conditional. You have to have an Adamancipator synchro monster, which more than likely we will, because that's what we're going for. But what if we don't? This card just, it doesn't do anything, it's dead. This card has no value if we don't have an Adamancipator synchro monster. So personally, I would rather have an anytime negate. It doesn't, permanence doesn't destroy, but it does negate. And I would just rather have that because it can do it any time. It's not conditional like Resonance. But, impermanence is still expensive. So if you don't have impermanence, definitely run Resonance. I think it's definitely a good card. I just think impermanence is a little bit better. So moving away from the main deck, let's go into the extra deck. We're going to be playing 2 Adamancipator Leonite. I do not have 3. Personally, I don't think you need 3 because you can compulse it from your graveyard or field back to the deck using the crystal version. So that's really good. I don't think you really need to play 3 of this. But what this one does is 2400 attack, 2200 defense. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can add 1 excavated Adamancipator card from your hand. Also place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. And then if a fire monster is in your graveyard quick effect, you can target 1 rock monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use each effect of Adamancipator Risen Leonite once per turn. So this is what I was saying, basically, with our Quaking Mirror, Guardian, and Overload. Just being able to bring those cards back is, really, really pivotal, especially during our opponent's turn, because we basically get 2 negates, and that's really, really good. This card's great. Next up, I am playing 3 of probably the best, in my opinion, Adamancipator Resent Dragite. Dragite's great, and this is some great artwork. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Straight up beautiful. Dragite's the best one, in my opinion. He's the strongest, 3,000 attack and 2,200 defense. He's a level 8. He's not 6 like Leonite and Raptide. But what he does is during our main phase, we activate top 5 cards for a deck, and if we do, we can return cards our opponent controls to the hand up to the number of excavated rock monsters. I am struggling. And then place the excavated cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So basically what he does is once per turn during your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you can pulse cards from on your opponent's board up to their hand, up to the number of excavated rock type monsters. And that's really good because it's not just Adamancipator monsters, it's rocks monsters, and we run 30 in this deck. So chances are we're going to run into a few when we excavate top 5 cards for a deck. But the really good thing about this is that it doesn't target and it doesn't destroy. So non-targeting, non-destruction effects are fantastic. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Because most of the protection is like this card can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, or this card cannot be targeted. And this gets around both of those. It doesn't target and it doesn't destroy. So that's really, really good. And then it has a really great secondary effect where basically if you have the water crystal in your graveyard, a quick effect, if you control a water monster in your graveyard, you can, when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated, you can negate the activation and destroy it. And that's a quick effect. And that's really, really good. Once per turn, you can compose cards from your opponent's board up to the field, and then you can also negate a spell or trap, and that's really, really good. For the last 3 Adamancipators, we're playing 3 Raptite. Raptite's good. It's not great. 2,200 attack, 2,200 defense. 2,200 attack, 2,800 defense. You can, during main phase, excavate the top of a card, 5 cards at your deck, and then you can special summon 1 excavated rock type monster in defensive position. That's good. And then same thing, place the bottom deck in any order. And then during your opponent's turn, if you have 1 monsters in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target 1 card of your opponent's graveyard and then banish it. So it's basically DD Crow. You don't really have to play this at 3 if you don't want to, but I kind of wanted to. But, basically, if you have all 3 of these on the board, that's really powerful with Dragite, Spell Trap Negate, Raptite banishing. If we have Quaking Mirrors on the field, summoning and monster effects, and then Leonite being able to recycle our Quaking Mirrors, that's a powerful board. It really, really is. If you get all 3 of these out, that is super tough to get past. So moving away from the Adamancipator monsters, I'm playing 2 Needle Fiber because this is a single deck and we definitely want to play Needle Fiber. You don't really have to play it 2 if you want to, but I'm playing 2 Union Carrier just for the fact of what I said. It really combos really great with Black Dragon. It is really, really, really good. And then for the last 2 Boral Sword. You probably won't go into Boral Sword twice in this deck, but the options there. If you want to replace one of the Boral Sword or something else, that's totally fine as well. And then the last one would be Gallant Granite. I don't have Gallant Granite right now. I ordered it once again like 2 weeks ago. So a little bit frustrated I still don't have it. But I didn't want to keep waiting to do this deck profile. But I would definitely play a Gallant Granite because Gallant Granite can search out Nibiru. And Nibiru, you can also... I got excited there. You can also main deck Nibiru in this card, 3 of them if you want, because you can search out Nibiru. And that is really, really good. If you want to get rid of one of the Union Carriers and a Boral Sword and run 2 of Gallant Granite, go for it. That's totally fine as well. But yeah, Nibiru is really great once you start doing, more tournaments and stuff. Once this Heck on Virus goes away, you can definitely play that as well because it's searchable and that's really cool. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. I really hope you liked it because I definitely did. I love this deck. I think it's just fantastic. It's so beautiful and the artwork's great and it's really powerful and it's really fast paced and it's pretty unique just how fast you can excavate. I really, if you have a chance and if you're able to pick it up, I know the researcher is definitely holding a lot of people back right now. Hopefully that'll go down in price because we're not having any tournaments or anything going on right now, and for the foreseeable future. But yeah, definitely give this a shot, and let me know how you guys do. Let me know how you guys like it. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this deck, and if you think this is gonna be the best deck out of all the 3 that came out in the Rikas and the Eldritches. I'll definitely do a Rika one later this week as well, and an Eldritch probably in about a week and a half as well. But let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that bell so you become a part of the notification team, and I will see you guys in the next video.